I'm bearded and bored. And thirsty.
I just said, yes man, right away, anything.
You may be asking yourself, hey bearded, are you brewing beer in the woods? Well, sort of. In this week's episode, we're going to be brewing up some beer using that malted corn I made in a previous episode. Delicious. I'm sure you saw it. If you didn't, go back and check it out. Maybe I can put a link in somewhere here, or here, or here. At the end of that corn malting video, I asked for suggestions on a beer style that I could make using that malted corn. And I got a really good idea from one of our fellow beardo tribesmen. I'll put let's put a clip of his comment right down in there. Yeah. He suggested using rye. I did some Googling, and I found a beer style that I'd never heard of called a Kentucky Comet. And then I found a recipe from a guy on homebrewtalk.com. If you haven't been there, go, because they're awesome. It's just a community of beer brewers. It's great. And he had a really fantastic recipe that I modified a little bit for my own needs. If you want to try this recipe at home, I've got my version typed up down in the description below. And I have a feeling it's going to turn out really good. So the ingredients we'll be using for our beer today are malted corn, 2.5 pounds. We've got 4 pounds of 6-row barley. You can use 2-row. Belgian deep bittered black malt for color and a little bit of flavor. We've got some English medium crystal, and we've also got some malted rye. You can use flaked rye if you want, or whole rye. It's totally up to you. I just wanted to use the malt just to see what kind of character it would bring. A little bit of light liquid malt extract, just because I wanted to bump up the gravity a little bit. We're using cluster hops today. I got a little hop bag. I like using those just to makes cleanup and siphoning a little bit easier. Let's go make some beer. Now we just let it sit for about 75 minutes. Sometimes finding something to do means setting stuff on fire. I know I'm weird, but suck it up. Hello. I'm just bringing the temperature up to 168. And we're gonna let that mash out for about 10 minutes at 168, and then we'll sparge. Alright, so we've got about 6 gallons of water in there, including our wort and our sparge water. I've already added the liquid malt extract and stirred that around really well before I started the fire back up. 0.85 ounce of cluster hops in my little hop bag here. Plenty of room to expand and play around in there. Okay, so it's just about time for flame out on our beer, which is right down there. And I'm gonna try a new chilling technique, because normally I don't have an immersion chiller. Normally I just do an ice bath and an ice paddle and stir, and then it gets cool enough to pitch. But I did some reading about the Australian no-chill method, and then I did some further reading to see about just leaving it in the kettle overnight to cool down to room temperature. You may think that sounds very dangerous, but actually lots of people have success with it, and there's really no danger of contaminating your brew. The process is pretty simple. Just going to turn off our flame, and I've got some Star San water in my little bottle here. We're gonna sanitize the lid. sanitize the lip of the kettle. Ta-da! That's it. So if this works, this is going to be a huge thing for me. I really like the fact that basically at flame out, I was done. I didn't have to clean anything up. I didn't have to, you know, put anything away. Result 1.047. I think my projected was 1.048 on the beer calculator. So I'm actually really happy with that. Alright folks, thanks for sticking with me through this video. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, hit that like button. If you want to see more of what I do, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the little bell icon right next to it. That way you get notified when I post a new video. And I suggest you do that because the follow-up to this one is going to be the tasting video. But also I'm going to include in that, I've got that little oak barrel for aging liquor, and it's been going for like 7 or 8 months now. And so I'm going to actually age 2 quarts of this beer in that barrel and then bottle it with the rest of it, and we'll find out how that ends up all tasting. That way we can show whether or not it's actually worthwhile trying to barrel age some of your own beer at home. If you're only brewing 1-gallon batches, this is a viable option. Alright, so thanks for watching. I'll talk at you later.